What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering. I hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful Friday. The news has come fast and furious. I have some non-Elon news that I'll probably get pushed to Saturday, and I'll probably have a full docket of videos on Saturday because what else do I have to do? It's snowing outside again. But this story, as several reporters continue to cover the minute-by-minute goings-ons at Twitter, they all seem to have zero understanding of what actual corporate culture is. And I found a Twitter thread that I wanted to give, credit to the person who wrote it, Oliver Campbell, but also I think it expertly explains exactly what Elon Musk is doing right now. He knew what he was doing with the layoffs. He knew what he was doing when he cut the 3,000 remote workers, and he's still not done cutting staff. They're wording it like, oh my God, Elon's running around with his hair on fire, and it's been, meanwhile, Elon's memeing on Twitter. Okay, it doesn't exactly line up. And I'll explain exactly why that is after a quick word from this video's sponsor. Huge shout out to this video's sponsor, Established Titles. Established Titles is a project based on a historic Scottish custom where landowners are referred to as lairds or lords and ladies in English. They allow people to buy as little as 1 square foot of dedicated land so they can call themselves a lord or a lady officially. In return, they commit to plant a tree with every order and protect the beautiful, pristine woodlands of Scotland. Established Titles makes an absolutely amazing gift, and a person could officially get their name changed on documents. Their title pack gives you at least 1 square foot of dedicated land on a private estate and an official certificate with a crest. Established Titles is currently having a really big sale just for you, my subscribers. You can get an additional 10% off any purchase you make with the discount code TheQuartering. So click the link below, go to establishedtitles.com/TheQuartering and use promo code TheQuartering to save an extra 10% today. So you see this Zoe Schiffer who, must have a really good source inside of Twitter because they're kind of reporting minute by minute. But they had this thread earlier about how Elon called all developers in, asked for some code examples, even telling people to fly into San Francisco to meet with him because he'll be there until midnight, which I thought was a little like you're demanding people get on a flight Thanksgiving Day weekend to fly with Twitter on no notice. I mean, I'm all for roasting woke lazy people, but I mean, like that's a strong ask. But there's so much more going on here behind the scenes that I wanted to actually explain it or, add context to. So Oliver B. Campbell on Twitter put together this thread. And I think that it expertly explains what happened. And they've also blocked me. So I still give credit. I don't know why I'm blocked by them. I've never heard of them before, but yeah. He writes, all right, I'm going to explain what Elon Musk is likely doing over there at Twitter. This is not a discussion on whether it is right or wrong, just what's happening. Elon is engaging in something called whaling and culling. First is the whaling. It's a common refrain that you've probably heard at some point or another. 10% of people do 90% of the work. Well, it's usually 80-20 is more common, but yeah. That's what a tight 2-week deadline for Twitter Blue was for. He was perfectly aware that it was an unrealistic time frame. It was a test. By pushing such an extremely tight deadline, Elon got to see who is actually doing the work and who is resting on their laurels. Furthermore, it proved who could actually perform under extreme pressure. The whole get this done or you're fired level of pressure. Hence, Elon looking for the whales at the company, the heavy hitting, actually producing and hard people who have been there for a while. When the whales don't have to carry the dead weight, they perform like the equivalent of 10 people. 100% correct. I talk about this. I use this term force multiplier all the time. If you've ever managed teams or if you've even been on teams of people, you know what it's like when Jim or Jane are not pulling their weight. Everybody knows it, right? And everybody talks about it, right? And everybody gets toxic about it, right? So what he's doing is he's getting rid of them. This on top of the people that self-select, of course. Second is, quote, the culling. When you've got the 90% of people when you've got 90% of the people not performing, they're actually negatively impacting the 10% who are performing above and beyond. And that's why the layoffs happen. Paraphrase, stuff's going to change around here. Get on board or get out. So by culling unproductive staff, he actually untied the hands of productive staff. Fewer obstacles to get in the way of things they're done, of getting things done. It also revealed to him that there were there to make Twitter, it also revealed to him who was there to make Twitter a better product versus who was there to be an activist. So now you've chopped down your workforce down to people who actually perform, but that's not enough to run everything. This is why after all those people are let go, there's going to be a surprise hiring of a bunch of new people. Why? Because the productive people actually know what they need to get done. Don't be surprised if the people that are left get to be a part of the interviewing process for the new people. They'll be looking for efficiency and people who don't make their jobs more difficult. It goes on. So when you continually slice away the bad portions of something, all that you're left with is one or two potential outcomes. One, nothing is usable. It was rotten to the core. Or two, some substantially good bits you can salvage and build on. Elon is gambling that it's number two. This is what he was talking about with Twitter 2.0. It's likely not a new Twitter, not for us. It's a new Twitter internally. How to get things done, how to get things rolled out, rebuilding the company with productive and more efficient people. What I'm saying is, take a look at the reactions. The people that are staying at Twitter are hunkering down and working. The people who he let go are the ones calling doom and gloom. They're not wrong. The way things were done is over at Twitter. And that's exactly correct. Like, this is an excellent take, because the people that are running around with, saying that Twitter is going to fail any minute and that, there's like hardly anybody left on the team. And this is, it couldn't possibly survive without me. I mean, everybody's seen that person quit where they're like, good luck doing this X thing without me. And then somehow the company maintains. If you were on Twitter last night at all, and you saw like 3 of the top 5 trending topics were about Twitter down, rip Twitter, blah, blah, blah. And then Elon, said Twitter usage, tweeted out that Twitter usage is at an all-time high. So like, he is 100%. I believe that Twitter culture was rotten to the core. But you've got to think, when you've got 7,500 employees, you almost certainly have some good eggs in there. And so if he gets down to the 1,000 good eggs, right, to keep things running and keep the lights on, then he can add to the teams that he needs. From the outside, this looks like a giant cluster, but it's what's going to surprise you. But it's what's going to surprise you is the great number of businesses run exactly like this. There's a reason layoffs happen every single year across the world. Wailing and culling. Elon is just being very vocal. And like I said at the start of this post, I didn't say this is right or wrong, just what is happening. And you see a lot of people in here like saying, this is a great breakdown, and certainly the feel that I get going on. He said he wanted to act 75%, and he's getting what he wanted. If you go by the tech startups when they were bought out, it was a nearly 1 million user per staff member. According to this level, he could cut 90% of the staff. Yup, the most shocking part is mostly just how much dead weight there seems to be at Twitter HQ. You see, Evan saying this makes a lot of sense. I'm really interested to see where this all goes. The company I work for does the yearly review of all FTE. Everyone gets a score 1 to 4. 4 is great, but few reach it. 3 is okay, and most employees attain that. 2 and 1 are bad. In February, most of the 2s are laid off. I call it the annual culling of the 2s, and it's a bit of gallows humor. Like, it's exactly correct. And people just want to hate Elon, so they think it's any different. But it's like, I seen this happening, and I was like, you hear Tom Buckley, my work at tech companies mirrored this, happened nearly every single year, and most of the dead weight was removed. Like, there's no, and he seems right. Elon tweeted to Dave Portnoy, the best people are saying, so I'm not worried. This is exactly what Elon wanted, and this is exactly the just the start. I'm telling you, the fact that he told all those developers to show up at Twitter HQ today doesn't mean he's I don't think that that necessarily means he's begging them to stay. I think it means that he wants to see who really, really wants the job. That's just my opinion, though. You know, I've only been following the guy's career for the last, I don't know, 10 years, so I suppose I might know a little bit about it. But I do hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you leave a like on it, you subscribe so you get notified when I upload new videos. We'll talk to you again real soon.